We're live!
We're back and we're live. Welcome back, guys, to another episode of TFLnow Live.
Yes, so today we are talking about the cars people hold on to the longest, the new cars people hold on to the longest, and we're going over the best-selling crossovers in July. Plus, at the very end, my dad, the one and only Roman Micah, is coming on the show, and we're going over comparing and contrasting the differences between the 2019 Ford Mustang Bullitt, a car we just drove, and the brand new Dodge Challenger Hellcat Red-Eye, another car that we just drove.
Well, when you say we mean
Nathan and my dad.
and you with the Mustang.
Yeah, exactly.
But first time, we have some news. Tell us about the news.
Well, we have some FCA Jeep Indian manufacturing news going on.
Some drama.
Some drama if we go on. Yeah, with Mahindra. So Mahindra is a Indian manufacturer known for their models abroad, and they are coming back to the United States with this. This is called the Mahindra Rocks.
Well, they're trying to come back to the United States.
They're trying to come back to the United States, and Michael says that because the Roxor is a off-road only recreation vehicle that looks a lot like a CJ, and that's because abroad it's known as the Mahindra Thar, and that's because abroad the Mahindra Thar is really an old Willy CJ that has been licensed for years and years and years for use and for them to sell abroad and in India. And it's, if you go to India, you see them everywhere.
Yeah.
But FCA is not so happy with it.
Right, so Mahindra has set up a headquarters here in North America. They spent like $600 million building an office in Detroit. And yeah, they basically assemble this vehicle in India and then ship it to the U.S. where they're going to rebuild it here. Right. Or at least that was the plan. But today, FCA filed a complaint with the U.S. International Trade Commission saying, quote, that the Mahindra Roxors are nearly an identical copy of the iconic Jeep CJ design, and in fact, the accused product was modeled after the original Willys Jeep, which is true, because Jeep basically gave them the licensing rights to manufacture this.
Well, or sold it to them.
Or sold it to them at some point.
So, yeah, and, you know, Mahindra's been very successful with this small off-roader abroad, and they're trying to bring it here in the form of like a UTV, an off-road vehicle.
Yeah.
So we'll see where this turns up, but it's an interesting discussion, right? Because you have a Indian copy of an Indian reproduction of a U.S.-made 4x4.
Yeah.
That's being sold abroad, but now it's trying to come back to the U.S. So it's an interesting relationship going on there. We should talk about our hood here.
Welcome to the hood.
So if you guys want to sponsor our super chat here on YouTube, send us $5 or more. We'll put you on our hood forever and ever and ever. $10 or more, we'll send you our TFL truck bumper sticker. And $50 or more, we will send you a TFL truck hat. We can sign it if you want. But today, because we're talking about the Hellcat Red-Eye, the first person to donate $50 or more gets not one hat, but two hats.
I've been hiding it here. So we have the TFL trucker hat, always a favorite of yours, Tommy. But we also have what I'm going to refer to as the Hell Hat. So guys, as a special thank you to sponsoring our Super Chat today, the first person to make a $50 donation not only gets the TFL trucker hat, but we'll also send you this very exclusive, I might add, TFL, or not TFL, it's Dodge Challenger Hellcat Red-Eye hat. Or the Hell Hat, as I'm going to call it. If you guys do sponsor the Super Chat, please be sure to send us an email at info@tflcar.com, and we will give us your address, and we'll send it on your way. Also, Tommy, we have patches, so if you give us $25 in the Super Chat, we'll send you guys a patch.
Whoop, whoop. Okay, Mike, we're 4 minutes in. We're already onto our list.
Whoa, look at that.
Whoa. To all you people out there that say we take too long, here you go.
Here we are.
So this is the top 10 new cars people hold on to the longest, according to a recent report by iSeeCars.com. What did they look at?
Well, so iSeeCars, they have given us a lot. They keep sending us lists, so we're going to keep doing shows with their lists because they make really cool lists. They analyzed more than 6 million vehicles sold by the original owners, and then kind of calculated based on how long those people had owned the cars, the average ownership period for these cars. So the average ownership period for all new cars in general is 7.4 years.
That's a long time.
Which is a really long time, actually. So let's just get into the list, starting with number 10, which is the Honda Odyssey.
Yeah, so number 10 is the Honda Odyssey. Average ownership is 8.3 years, excuse me. The Honda Odyssey is, of course, Honda's ubiquitous minivan that they've sold for years and years. This competes with the Chrysler Pacifica. It competes with the Toyota Sienna. And the year-to-date sales on the Honda Odyssey, 60,524 units. That's a lot of kids being hauled around.
It's a lot of minivans, a lot of maroon minivans.
It's a lot of maroon minivans. But the Honda Odyssey, you know, I've never been in one, but it's got a bunch of kind of cool features.
Yeah.
Obviously, you have like this lightning bolt, sweeping
Chrome trim piece.
Chrome trim piece down the side. You
Yep.
can get it with like the vacuum in the back.
Yeah.
Like
Vacuum for presumably that's the vacuum that's swept up the single most amount of Cheerios I think of any vacuum ever.
Yeah, and it's worth noting too that from the people I've talked to, this is kind of the driver's choice of the minivan segment.
You could get it with a V6 for a while.
Luke 01234 has sent us $1.
$1. Thank you, Luke.
That's
49 more of those, and you got yourself 2 hats.
wow, multi-purpose reviewer. Oh,
Oh!
glad when I can make a live show. Keep up the awesomeness.
Look at that.
$50.
$50, multi-purpose reviewer.
So you're gonna get the TFL truck hat. We can sign it if you want. Send us an email. And
Yeah,
TFL
we can
car.
sign it if you want. He works like 2 blocks away from us, so we'll probably just run these down to your office multi. But thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Oh, does he?
Does he?
I don't think he does, Michael.
Is that a different person?
Yeah.
Oh,
yes,
whoops.
it's a different person.
Excuse me. Sorry.
Wow.
Oh, that's Chase. My bad.
So
oh, gosh.
we'll
I'm sorry, Multi.
we'll
Multi's from Seattle. That's who it is.
We'll send you your Hellcat red eye hat and the TFL truck.
I could
hat.
hand deliver that too. I'm going to Seattle in a couple weeks.
Okay, number 9 on our list is a car I often forget is still being sold. It is the Ford Taurus.
Well, it's soon to not be sold anymore. according
Yeah,
to Ford.
that's not so good.
Average ownership on the Ford Taurus is 8.3 years, and the year-to-date sales so far are 17,627 units. The Taurus had a really cool version called the SHO, or the Show. I don't know. Some people like to call it one, some people like to call it the other. But it basically had an EcoBoost V6, and it was actually pretty fast. Unfortunately, the Taurus is a very heavy vehicle, and as a result, it did not remain such a popular choice. Obviously, the SHO variant was kind of a throwback to a much older model. But it's a really cool car, actually. It's one of those sleepers that I don't think a lot of people know about.
So the new Show Taurus, right, has a 3.5-liter twin turbocharged EcoBoost. But the old one, actually, this is a fun fact, had a V8. I believe it was transversely mounted, and it was sourced by Yamaha.
Wow.
So Yamaha built the V8 for the old Taurus Show.
Fun fact.
And these were, yeah, I mean, the fast versions were cool, but the regular ones,
Yeah.
they're
It's a cop car.
okay, well, yeah, it is a cop
It's a
car.
cop car.
But they kind of live in a dying class, right? The full-size sedan class.
100% live in a dying class.
Yeah, it's not been around for, or might not be around for that much longer at the rate that purchases going on these vehicles. But we should keep going.
Yep.
Number 8 on our list,
Honda Accord.
the Honda Accord.
Average ownership, 8.3 years again.
Year-to-date sales, 163,217 units. This is the brand new Accord.
Pretty car.
Really pretty car, actually.
Yeah.
Turbocharged engine option now.
Very fun to drive, actually, for a mid-sized sedan.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to hear what you guys think. I'm reading your comments right now. Let us know what you think of the new Accord styling, because
Yeah.
it certainly is more polarizing than it has been in the past.
The first thing I thought when I saw that, though, was like, wow, that looks really good.
Yeah.
Curiously, though, Tommy, sales are down 15% from last year on the Accord so far,
Yeah.
which is a lot. That's a big drop. And I think it's indicative of the fact that mid-sized sedans, or sedans in general, are really not selling well. Crossovers, SUVs, and trucks have really ballooned in sales, and sedans are kind of the segment that's suffering. People want something bigger, safer, and more convenient.
Well, I don't even know if it's safety. It's more of like the idea of safety.
The
right?
idea
You-
of safety,
you
right?
sit up high.
The
you
feeling
can-
of safety.
Yeah, you can look over stuff. Number 7 on our list isn't really a car. It's more of a truck, but it is the Chevrolet Suburban, an ancient nameplate. I think it's the oldest nameplate, continuous nameplate here in the U.S. It's sold 29,861 units as of June 2018, and the average ownership period for this vehicle, 8.4 years. Ooh, this is the RST.
The RST, the fancy one.
Rally
Big V8.
Sport Truck. So the Rally Sport Truck Suburban is the big GM engine, the 6.2, slapped into the Chevrolet Suburban. Originally, it was only available on the Tahoe.
Right.
Now it's available on the Suburban as well. The Suburban is it's kind of an icon, right, here in the United States. It's the go-to road trip family truck. And it is important to note it is a truck, and I think maybe that contributes to the fact that it's owned for that long, right? Is
Yeah.
it's built tough. Right?
durable.
It's got a lot of durability baked into its body-on-frame chassis and solid rear axle. It's just a very solid vehicle. And number 6 on our list is kind of in that same line. It's the Ford Explorer.
Yeah, the Ford Explorer used to be basically a truck, but no longer. It is now a unibody construction, not body on frame. That being said, it has an average ownership of 8.4 years. And year to date so far, they've sold 131,000 Ford Explorers.
Wow.
I want to make a point about the Suburban really quick because I'm not sure if people know this. We have to report the June sales figure because Chevrolet or GM in general has started reporting their sales numbers quarterly.
Right.
So where most manufacturers do it monthly, GM does it quarterly. So all we have is June, 3 months before June, 3 months after. It's every 3 months we get a number from Chevrolet and the rest of GM.
Right.
The Explorer is another cop car.
It's not a cop.
It is a cop car.
It is a cop car, but it's more than a cop car.
No, it's a big comfy SUV.
It is a big comfy SUV, and if you get a sport model Explorer, it's a big comfy fast SUV.
Quick SUV.
Quick SUV. Thank you, Michael.
Sure.
You know, and Chad Harmon saying Ford Explorer not the same. Yeah, like the new one is very different than the ones in the past. Our producer Zach actually had like 18 of them or something.
You've owned 18 Ford Explorers?
He's owned 2 of them.
Oh, okay. Well, that's basically 18
Ford Explorers.
Right.
But like, you know, they used to be kind of
They're a little bit pretty trucky.
Yeah, a little bit more off-roady, and they've kind of rounded them out over the years. But I don't think it's a bad thing because it is a really capable
comfortable
vehicle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, shout-outs. Let's see what we got going on, guys. Back to my question about the Accord. Boney Chuck says, looks like a Camry ripoff.
Yeah.
I don't think it looks like a Camry ripoff.
I don't know about that, Boney.
How long do CVTs last? You know, we don't talk about long-term reliability. That's something we'll have to look into.
Yep.
For the most
Consumer
part.
Reports talked about that. You can go to them.
Well, don't say that, Michael. We want you to come to us. We'll look into it, and we can get back to you.
The thing is, guys, we don't get cars for longer than a week at a time usually, so it's really hard for us to do reports on long-term reliability. That's just something that it's not on our bandwidth because we don't have the cars for that long of a time. But on our long-term testers, we can certainly give you some pieces, some nuggets of information.
So multi-purpose reviewer says it's totally a cop car. I see an Explorer on the road and I immediately think it's a cop.
It is. That's exactly what I think. It is a cop car.
So I've actually become really good at spotting the police spec Explorers from the standard Explorers.
What's the differentiator?
Okay, so typically if you see a police spec Explorer, it's going to have a much smaller alloy wheel, always painted silver. It's a 5-spoke wheel.
Okay.
The other things you notice is the big giveaway is the exhaust. So an exhaust on an Explorer is typically chrome surrounded. On a police spec, it's usually 2 little outlets just point down, or they point out, and they're not chrome plated. It's just the
very
standard,
basic.
Yeah, basic exhaust.
But the problem, I'm not worried about a cop if I'm behind the cop, Tommy. I'm worried about a cop if I'm in front of the cop. So is there anything from the front that you can use to determine?
Well, if it's black or white.
That's usually a good start. If its lights are flashing at you, that's how you know it's a cop.
That's another good start. Okay, number 5 on our list, back to sedans, is the Toyota Avalon.
Ooh, there it is in San Diego.
I can't get over this new name.
San Diego.
I cannot get over this new nose.
No? You don't like it?
No.
People call it catfish.
Why is it so wide?
It's aggressive and sporty.
And the other thing you can notice from this, I don't know if you can see it on this picture, but definitely take a look at it. It's like it's all blocked off. Like the whole nose is
the weird thing to me actually is that the hood ends here. There's like this one little metal piece that just goes right above the grill. I don't really get that. But I have driven this Avalon actually. I was on this program in San Diego with Nathan, and I can tell you that the new Avalon is not your grandma's Avalon. That's like a super cliche thing to say about it, but Toyota put a lot of effort into making this new one sporty, aggressive looking, fun to drive, all those good things. Average ownership is 8.6 years, and year-to-date sales are 22,068 units. The V6 is really cool. They have a sport trim now. It's fun. There's adaptive suspension, paddle shifters.
It's an Avalon, though.
It has a very enhanced exhaust note. Actually, but from the outside, it sounds good too. Go watch my review, or our review of that. Nathan and I did a good review on that car.
Yeah, it might. You know, I'd like to actually drive one, spend some time with it, but that catfish thing is just really.
The nose is you either love it or you hate it. I think it's all right.
Okay, so interesting fact here. On our live show today, Carcane said, I'll never sell my old 4Runner. And apparently you are not alone, Carcane, because our number 4 car or truck on our list is the Toyota 4Runner. Average ownership period, 8.8 years year-to-date sales, 77,272. I see 4Runners everywhere.
Well, we live in Colorado, near the mountains at that. So yeah, they're all over the place. My roommate owns one. Shout out to that 4Runner. We've gotten ourselves into a lot of trouble and a lot of fun adventures with the 4Runner. It's taken us to the mountains.
So like we see a lot of third generation 4Runners, for example.
Yeah, tons.
And I want you guys to see if you agree with me, because every single third generation 4Runner I see is like this champagne color. It's like this desert sand champagne, and
It's either that or silver.
yeah, but like the silver is so close that like
Yeah, it's hard to
sometimes-
distinguish between the two.
But sometimes I like see a red third generation Explorer and I just flip. I mean, it's weird. I'll be like walking down the street and I'll be like, "Whoa, look, red third generation 4Runner." And then if I said Explorer earlier, I meant 4Runner.
Yeah,
and I'll
4Runner,
just like
4Runner.
flip out that it's like a red 4Runner.
You get that excited about a red 4Runner? Like that color red?
Oh, that's a nice
That's a
one.
nice red.
That's the new 4Runner. We actually went out, check out a review on TFLcar.com. My dad just went out and drove the TRD 2019 Toyota 4Runner
And the
off-road.
Tacoma.
And the Tacoma.
And the Tundra.
And the Tundra.
A really cool video series, a 3-part series. You can easily tell my roommate's 4Runner, Tom. You know why?
Is it silver?
No, the
Is it
whole
red?
front bumper is made up of duct tape. It is silver.
Oh.
Anyways, on to number 3.
Yep, number
which is
3.
another Toyota product. It's the Sequoia. Average ownership, 8.9 years, almost 9 years. Year-to-date sales, not quite the same as the 4Runner, 7,174 units so far. Here's my theory about why people own these for so long, Tommy.
What? Here we go.
I've made a theory.
Here we go.
Everybody I know that owns a Sequoia keeps it at their mountain home. So, it only gets driven like 3 weeks out of the year when people are in the mountains at their home,
That's a bad theory.
driving to the mountains.
I have a better theory.
What's your theory?
My theory, the reason that the average ownership period is 8.9 years is because this thing hasn't changed in like 8.9 years.
Ah, well, that's also true.
So, you know, someone buys a Sequoia, right? They like it. They enjoy the reliability. They enjoy the driving
Yeah.
experience. They enjoy the seating position.
Yes.
And then they want to get a new one, but there's no new Sequoia to get. So they just
There's
hold
never
on
a
to
new
their
one.
old Sequoia.
And it's not like it's going to break because it's, you know, a 9-year-old Sequoia that's like on Land Cruiser level of reliability.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but I
close.
think this, you know, the Sequoia, I think, will be pretty solid.
Yeah.
Let's see, we have an interesting comment here.
Yeah, please.
Tuho says, seeing a pattern here. You are seeing a pattern here.
Yes.
Number 3, number 4, number 5 are all Toyota products.
Yes.
Our number 2 product, though, is not a Toyota. It's about as different as you can get from the Sequoia.
Pretty
It is
much, yeah.
the Chevrolet Corvette.
Woo. Average ownership on a Corvette, 9 years. People own their Corvettes for 9 years on average. Are you kidding me? Year-to-date sales so far, again, as of June, because it's Chevy, 10,242 units.
That's more than Sequoia.
Which is kind of hilarious, actually. We had a Corvette Grand Sport convertible, actually kind of similar to this, almost exactly like this, except this is a special edition one, like a year and a half ago, and that might be my favorite car I've driven at TFL so far.
Really?
Yeah, it was really cool. It had the 7-speed manual. It was yellow, which is a very polarizing color, but I thought it was cool on a Corvette. It made me very happy.
Well, the thing about the Corvette is if you go out and look on Craigslist and eBay and do a bunch of searching, you'll see a lot of them that'll have like no mileage and they'll be an 05 or 06 or 07. And because this is kind of an aspirational car for a lot of people.
That's a nice way of saying that only old people buy
That's
it.
not what I'm saying.
That's precisely what you just said.
People,
It's an aspirational car.
people work really hard to buy a Corvette.
Yeah, they
it's
do.
their fun vehicle, right? They're very proud of it.
They
And,
baby it.
Yeah, they end up parking it in the garage for a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Which is why, you know, the average ownership period is 9 years. But our number 1 vehicle is not one that people park and baby because it is the Ford Expedition. Average ownership period 9 years. Year-to-date sales 31,409. Another full-size SUV just like the Suburban. You know, loosely based on like an F-150. The new one is independent rear suspension and it's a little bit tweaked. But
Yeah.
you know, once again, it's a truck that's the epitome of road tripping and family hauling here in the United States.
I 100% agree. Also, curiously, every Ford on this list, so this list, right, was made up of essentially 4 brands, Honda, Toyota, Ford, and Chevy,
Yeah.
which is kind of interesting. But all the Fords, all 3 of them, have an EcoBoost engine.
Really?
Yep.
That's interesting. Or is available.
Or is it available with an
Yeah.
EcoBoost engine?
So it's funny that this is like our go-to family car because I'm sure we'll get some comments on this, but a lot of you guys out there in Europe, right, the go-to family car might be a Peugeot 308,
Sure.
right? Something like along those lines.
Yeah, small hatchback. Or
Yeah,
something
small
like
hatchback, and it's just a very different place we live in here in the
Yeah.
United States.
that. The SUV, the truck,
Is king.
rules the road here in America.
It's king, yep.
It is king.
So speaking of what's king right now, we're talking about now the most popular new crossovers, and actually the least oh no, just the most
Just
popular.
the most popular ones. Just the most popular.
New crossovers in July 2018. This is available right now from the FastlaneCar.com.
Yeah, so you can go check out the article on our website. Zach wrote it up. He did a wonderful job. But yeah, we've had the top two crossovers from 6 different classes. So we have the mainstream subcompact class, the compact class, and the midsize class, all in the mainstream category.
Subcompact.
Yeah, subcompact, compact, and midsize.
Yep.
And then we have the luxury subcompact, compact, and midsize.
Oh wow, there's so many crossovers.
So many crossovers because it's the most popular one. Well, aside from pickup trucks, the most popular vehicle segment in America right now. So these sales figures, we included some. Sorry, let me restart that. It includes sales figures and how much sales have gone up or down from July or from last month. So
yep.
It has this month's figures plus the month-to-month change from July. So Tommy, start us off.
So in the subcompact category, the best seller is the Subaru Crosstrek. 12,664 units sold, up 59%. And number 2 is the Honda HR-V. And, you know, the Honda HR-V really is a surprisingly fun little car.
Yeah, great.
It really is. I mean, in all-wheel drive, it's only available in like a CVT transmission, but it's surprisingly capable, and you know, we've taken it off-road, and it's got a lot of that Honda built-in DNA.
Yeah.
It's just fun to drive. Let's go into our compact segment, Michael.
Well, hold on. Take note, Tommy, of these little doors.
Why are you pointing at the rear doors?
Because this segment I would like to call the Millennial Mobile segment. Because this is like these cars, every time you go to a press trip for something like this, like the HR-V or the CHR, the Coupe High Rider from Toyota, or the Nissan Kicks, they always have a handle up in the window for some reason, and they're always like front-wheel drive.
Well, you know why that is, right? It's to make it look more like a coupe.
Right, it's a coupe.
So if they
style.
just stuck another door handle right there, you'd be like, oh, it's a crossover. But they put this here, and you're like, oh my goodness, is that an S2000? And you have to look, and you're like, nope.
Strangely, I'm not fooled by the placement of the second door handle.
It's a CHR.
It's a Millennial Mobile.
Okay, compact segment is the leader that made no sense. In the compact segment, the leader is the Toyota RAV4. 41,093 units sold, down 2%. And you know, it's a RAV4. This is the Adventure, which has like an inch lift on it.
Yeah, that's like the one you want for Colorado.
Oh
actually.
God, I really want the V6 back.
Yeah, you were telling me today. I've never gotten the chance to drive a V6 RAV4, but apparently they are lightning fast for some reason.
No, I'm not. Like, I'm not being facetious when I tell you this. But
Yeah.
Like a V6 RAV4 is a rocket ship.
How fast are they 0 to 60?
It doesn't matter what they are on paper.
It does matter. What do you mean it does? That totally matters.
So we were at a racetrack for this evening. Like oval race. It was a local thing. But they allowed you know, spectators to bring their vehicles on, and there was a guy that brought a Raptor, and someone brought a V6 Mustang, and then there was an Audi S4, and the Toyota RAV4 V6 creamed them.
Interesting.
Creamed them.
Do you think it was like the driver or just
No, they're just so fast.
That's so bizarre.
They are so fast.
That's so bizarre to me.
Okay, the second leader in the compact segment is the Honda CR-V, 32,844 units sold, up 3.4%. There's no fleet sales, of course, with the CR-V. Honda doesn't do fleet sales.
No.
And the CR-V now has a 1.5-liter turbocharged engine.
Much like the one in the Civic.
And this is a big deal for Honda and Toyota. They're constantly battling it out in this compact segment. Midsize. Let's talk about midsize.
The midsize, the top seller in the midsize segment is the Toyota Highlander, 21,159 units, which is up 11% from last month. And number 2 is a car we already talked about today. It's the Ford Explorer, which sold 20,243 units in the month of July, up 8% from June.
So in the subcompact luxury segment, the leader is the BMW X1, and in number 2 place is the Mini Countryman, which is kind of funny because they're very similar vehicles.
This segment sells like a fraction of the units that the past segments that did. The BMW sold 1,812 units, and the Countryman sold 1,712 units.
We just took the Mini Countryman off-road. Check out the video now on the Fastlane car. It did better than a Land Rover Discovery in one section, but only one section.
What section?
The articulated traction control section. It did really well.
Interesting.
Compact luxury segment. The leader, Audi Q5, 6,512 units, up 58%, partly because, in my opinion, it's been redesigned for 2018.
Yep, brand new.
Brand new. And then the number 2 car on our list is the Acura RDX, just under 6,000 units, up 4.4%, also redesigned.
Yeah.
I still don't like this beak thing that they're going with here.
It's less beaky than it was.
Yeah.
It's less beaky than it was. The mid-size luxury segment, the last segment we have to talk about for sales. Number one seller is the Lexus RX. It sold 9,780 units, up 1.5% from last month.
Talk about big grills, by the way.
That is a catfish grill.
It's a catfish grill.
If ever there was one. Number two is the Mercedes-Benz GLE 4,447 units, which was up 14.6%.
Nice.
Yep.
Well, you know what it's time for? It's time to talk about muscle cars.
Ooh, get in here, Roman.
Dad, come on in here.
Join us.
Mr. Muscle Car Expert.
We've had a seat here for you the whole time.
Well, thank you, boys. I hear that multi-purpose reviewer got my
The hell hat.
red eye hat.
The hell hat. Yeah, there you go.
Congratulations. You got the hat. And
Got
thank
the
you
hat.
for supporting us. I really appreciate it.
So tell me how the Mustang and the Challenger drive.
I can't. It's embargoed.
Oh.
But what I can tell you is that we're going to have the videos coming up next week. So the Bullet video is going to be up on Monday, and the red eye video is going to be up on Wednesday. But interesting stuff I can talk about, and that's pricing. Did you know that you can get a Hellcat for, well, $58,900, $600? So
There's a
basically,
lot of math going on.
they dropped the price of the Hellcat by $5,000.
And they upped the horsepower a little bit.
And they upped the horsepower on the Hellcat from 707 to 717. And then if you pay another 11,000, so destination's like 1,300, so you're at 60, so plus 11.
Yep.
Gets you to 71. That gets you the red eye, which gets you 797 horsepower, basically the Demon engine.
This little red eye
Yeah.
is a difference of 80 horsepower.
And then if you pay another 6,000, you're going to get the wide body.
Ooh.
So you can basically get, I think it's $76,000 for a Demon without the Demon name.
So why would Dodge sell a Demon that's not a Demon?
Because they're in the business of making money and selling cars.
Yeah, the Demon was pretty limited, right? So
Yeah, 3,300 units.
they basically decided, you know, we can sell more of these to more people because more people want them.
And they always do that, right? They're always going to sell more vehicles because they don't make money by not selling cars.
Right.
So we got to drive them on the track. Me and Nathan went out there. Of course, me and Tommy went out and drove the Mustang Bullet. And it was kind of funny because, you know, the Mustang Bullet is based on that old Steve McQueen movie.
Yep.
And
Bullitt.
yeah,
Two T's.
and it's also weird. You know, there's like here's some weird trivia stuff that I don't understand. Maybe you guys understand it. So the original Bullet, which they actually had there,
Yeah.
and we did a video on it. If you want to know the story of that, check it out.
Yeah.
Was based on a Shelby Mustang,
Right.
but the new Bullet's based on a GT.
Right.
Why is that? Why not a Shelby?
I don't know.
And this is really the third generation of Bullet, and they've
Yeah.
always been based on the regular Mustang and not the Shelby.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. So if you guys know why, probably because more people can afford them.
Yeah, that could be.
But I think if you're that crazy about Mustangs and you want the Steve McQueen, you know, Bullet, you're probably going to be willing to pay for a GT350 Bullet.
Well, it's kind of hard to compare, right? Because we're talking 480 horse in the Mustang versus
Bullet.
In the Bullet Mustang,
Right.
yeah, versus under 800 in the Hellcats.
And then back in Dodge, they have like a staggering amount of engines and cars now in the Challenger.
Isn't it like 14 different Challengers you
Yeah,
can buy?
it's incredible. So you can start with a 6-cylinder, and you can go to a GT, which is an all-wheel drive 6-cylinder. Then you can go to the Hemi.
Yep.
Then you can go to the 392.
Yep.
Then you can go to the Hellcat. Then you can go to the Red Eye.
Yep.
And then, of course, we still have the Demon.
Yep.
I think I forgot a few in there.
There's like within each of those, there's another 3 you can pick from.
And they're doing really well. You know, the Mustang has been redesigned substantially twice in the time that the Challenger has had a mild refresh.
Well, but that design is such a great, aggressive-looking muscle car that you don't want to mess with something that's perfect, right? That is of the 3 right now. I think that one looks the Challenger looks the best for
And
sure.
you'll note that there's a new hood.
There is a new hood with 2 big nostrils.
Yeah, it looks like 2 big nostrils. The old Hellcat hood went down to the Scat Pack 392, and now the new Hellcat has a hood, and the Red Eye has a hood. But here's
Well, what do you mean by a hood?
a new hood.
Oh, a new hood.
But here's something that Nathan actually figured out.
What's that?
So if you buy a Hellcat, you get a little Hellcat symbol on the side, right?
Right.
And if you,
Like this.
Yeah, and if you buy a Red Eye, you get the little red eye in the Hellcat symbol.
Yes.
It's not that simple. This is silver in the Hellcat, and it's dark in the
Okay.
in the Red Eye. But Nathan figured out that if you buy a Hellcat for about $1, you can make it into a Red Eye.
by painting,
getting some
nail polish, just painting the eye red, a red Sharpie.
So you can save $11,000 there.
If you just get some nail polish and paint on the red eye.
You won't get the 80 extra horsepower, but you'll save a lot of money.
Well, that's okay.
The cost of basically, like a Versa.
So we have some comments coming in. Chase Younggreen thinks that the new Challenger looks outdated.
I don't know, man.
Dude, it's badass.
That's
the Challenger is like the kind of guy who walks into a bar, looks at you, and without flinching, punches you in the face.
Oh my God.
That's kind of the attitude that
and
that
then
thing
goes
has.
home with your girlfriend afterwards.
all-wheel
Oh,
drive.
he's already had her.
Oh yeah. He walks in with your girlfriend and then punches you in the face.
Yeah.
All-wheel drive Waffle also says it does look a little bit outdated. AWD Waffle, he's a viewer of ours.
Yeah, nice. Thank you.
Thank you, AWD
For watching.
Waffle.
Yeah, appreciate it.
I'm sorry you think that the Challenger looks outdated.
But Tommy, talk about the Bullet. What do you think of it?
Yeah.
The style-wise. I mean, it's got a chrome grille.
So, well, what I liked about it is, first off, they debadged it completely.
Yep.
Right?
Except for the Bullet badge.
Except for the Bullet badge on the back. But as far as I can tell, nowhere does it say Ford,
Interesting.
and nowhere does it actually spell it Mustang.
Yeah, it just says Bullet
It just
everywhere.
says Bullet on
Spelled
the...
B-U-L-L-I-T-T, which is
Two
weird.
T's.
Yeah.
2 T's. How many times does it say bullet?
Only 5 times.
5 times?
5 times. So it says it on the side sills. It says it on the steering wheel, which I don't like that much. It says on the dashboard, there's a little plaque.
Yeah.
And it says on the deck lid.
They're all numbered.
What about in the little gauge cluster? Because it has a
When you
different
turn
like
it on,
startup
you get
screen.
like a little green
Mustang.
Oh, it
with-
doesn't
with-
say
with
Bullet,
the silver
though.
bezel.
Okay.
So if you don't like Highland Green or Shadow Black, you're kind of out of luck.
There's
Yeah.
2 color options.
Now, I've been hearing through our comments that dealers are asking like 10K above sticker
Yeah, they're
for
really
the Bullets.
upcharging them.
And I would tell you that Ford told me that there's really it's not necessarily production limited, so there's no like set number of Bullets that they're going to build.
Don't pay over MSRP on
It's
one.
basically, they said, based on kind of the Magna Ride, some of the components that you
Yeah.
can get with it. But if you hold on, I'm guessing like 3 to 6 months, you could get it for sticker. And if you hold on, maybe like 6 to 9 months, you could probably, get it for less.
Well,
it's a global model for Ford too.
So I was poking around the forums, the
Yeah.
Bullet forums, and there were like huge delays apparently, according to the users, on like finding Magna Ride ones.
Interesting.
So finding like ones equipped with the Magna Ride or certain options.
There's basically 3 options for the Bullet, 4 options for the Bullet Mustang.
Right.
There's the paint color. You have black or green, Shadow Black or Highland Green.
Yeah.
You can get Magna Ride suspension. You can get navigation. That's one option.
Tech package.
The
$2,100.
tech package.
$1,600 for the Recaro seats.
And the Recaro seats.
And then
So-
$1,700
for
the Magna Ride.
the Magna Ride. So there's really like 3 options and 2 color
Starts at
choices.
47, but they say starts at 47, but then there's always a destination fee, and that tends to be
So that's
over
like
1,000.
48.
Yeah,
If-
it goes up to 53.
Magna Ride is really nice too, right? That's a kind of a nice option, but apparently hard to find.
So Matthew Wade, it says Ford on the windshield.
Oh,
There you go.
There you go. Forward on the
Where on
windshield
the
until you break
windshield?
it, and then you pay.
Then you buy the cheapo windshield.
And then it doesn't say Ford anymore.
Yeah.
Well, we're out of time.
Yeah. Thank
That's
you
our
guys.
show.
Come back on Monday. What show are we doing? It's been really fun. We're looking into the future. You guys are looking into your
The top 10 future cars that are coming up soon.
the cars that we're super excited about.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
mid-engine Corvette.
Genesis Concepts.
Mirage.
What?
No, these are some cool cars.
There's
that are
a really
coming-
cool
list
list,
of
actually.
cars. So come back on Monday. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you, multi-purpose reviewer.
Yeah, we're gonna send you your hats. I might fly them personally to Seattle and hand them over. But thank you guys so much for tuning in, and please come back every day. We stream every day now. We do a live show Monday, Wednesday, Friday for car, and we talk trucks on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 4 p.m. Mountain Time, 5 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific Time. I'm not going to go into your
Goodbye, guys.
Goodbye.
Thanks for watching.